Well, good evening. I've just been informed that apparently we're waiting on me. So we're glad that you've joined us here this evening for our live update. Thank you for tuning in from all over the country. We had a little technical glitch here. You'd think after a year and a half now of Zoom meetings, we'd have this thing figured out. But we're glad you're tuned in here. Just by way of introduction, for those who have not had a chance to spend much time with us or be exposed to what we do here at United Indian Mission, our purpose is to establish and strengthen churches among the Native, Mexican, and Hispanic people of North America. And we look for those churches to be built on the scriptures and functioning within their own cultural orientation. So that's what our mission is about. And in our aviation department, we serve, especially in Mexico, serving missionaries working toward that end in the hard to get to areas of the mountains of Mexico. And so that's our aviation department's involvement. We have a base in Tucson. That's our home base. We have another base in Chihuahua, another one in the south of Chihuahua, and a fourth in Tepic. And you are going to get to hear from all four of those places this evening. So we're excited you're with us. And if you have any questions as we move along here, feel free to jot those down. At the end, we want to give a little bit of time. So if you have questions, have something you'd like to know, we'd be glad to answer those for you. So make a note of those and we'll get to those at the end. I should say, I'm Michael. I'm in the flight department. I'm in Chihuahua. As a matter of fact, I just traveled today. I'm not in Chihuahua tonight, although the picture behind me is Chihuahua. But I'm actually in Tucson, came up here, and we'll be doing a little flying up here tomorrow. But so I'm Michael, and then you'll hear from each of our bases here this evening. And we're going to start it off with Brent. Brent Dodd is our Director of Flight Operations, or Director of Operations now. He lives in Mexico. He lives in the southern area of the state of Chihuahua. He grew up on the mission field in Papua New Guinea, and then he flew over there for a while and as a missionary pilot, and now has been with us for a number of years. And with that, Brent, I'll turn it over to you.
Good evening to all. I'd like to share a little bit tonight about delays. Many times we think delays are a nuisance, but you'll find out tonight that a delay that I had on September 8th was something that God had planned beforehand. Early that morning on September 8th, I flew a missionary couple from the hangar here in Los Napuchis, Mexico. It's about a 12-minute flight in this little small airplane called the Carbon Cub. And if you were to drive on a four-wheel drive, in a four-wheel drive vehicle, it would take 3 to 4 hours. So 12 minutes to 3 or 4 hours. That's a wonderful tool to have to be able to get missionaries flown quickly in and out of a remote area where they serve. The home base here is at 7,000 feet above sea level. And on this particular flight, we're going to fly from Los Napuchis down to a remote area where missionaries serve. And that altitude there is 4,500 feet. So we're going to take off this morning, and we'll hopefully be able to see a short video of that happening here. Some of the challenges that we have when we fly from here is, you can see some low ground fog. We like to get our flights done early in the morning. We have to deal with strong winds many times. The length of the airstrip that we'll be flying into is 780 feet in length. It is a one-way airstrip in a canyon where you fly in one way and turn around and take off in the opposite direction. Once we're past a certain point, we're committed to land. Another challenge that we have is we have to make sure that the airstrip is clear of um, animals. We don't want to land with a cow in the middle of the runway. And on this particular one, we have to land before 8 o'clock in the morning, or the sun is directly shining into your eyes when you're trying to land. So those are some of the challenges that we have on this particular airstrip. If it rains the night before, even though there is some covering on the ground, mud likes to stick to the tires. And so before I take off, I have to scrape the tires off. A lot of times it's little rocks that collect. And when I take off, those are thrown into the back of the propeller and can cause damage. So I was able to drop the missionaries off this morning. I scraped the tires. I did my pre-flight engine check and made sure everything was ready for a departure. And I turned around at the top of the airstrip, and lo and behold, there was a cow right in the middle of the runway. So I decided, all right, I'll taxi down, get the cow off, and be able to take off. Well, when I did that, as you can see, the mud was back on the tires again. So I had to take some more time, another delay, to be able to take off. And while I was doing that, the missionary came running down and he said, there's a lady here that needs to get out to the hospital. Could you please take her out? So because of that delay, I was able to get that lady to the hospital where she was able to get the help that she needed. So I ask that you pray for us as we deal with these challenges, and we would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Brent. Yeah, the delays God puts in our lives, right? We see that in the aviation department. I'm sure that's true for all of us. We've seen the Lord delay things, and we're not sure why at first, and maybe never. He's working his plan, isn't he? I'd like to introduce you to someone else. Paul Timblin is our director of maintenance. He's in Tucson, and he's going to give us an update. He grew up also on the mission field in Germany, so he's been in missions his entire life. This is our maintenance base in Tucson, and we'll turn it over to Paul for a short update from there.
Well, good evening. It's good to be back on. I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. It's good to give updates like this, and I wanted to share with you our last meeting like this was in May, and we had presented a need for an engine overhaul for 29 Charlie, right there in the picture, and it's been exciting to see the Lord work. I'm always humbled every time the Lord provides in ways that are it's just fun to watch the Lord work. Since our meeting in May, we've raised, or the Lord has raised, almost $30,000 towards the engine. Our end goal is $60,000. That's what it costs to do an overhaul firewall forward. That's the engine overhaul plus all the accessories, the propeller overhaul, all the goodies that go along with having to overhaul the engine. So since May, we are now halfway there, and that's exciting for me to see, and for us as a mission that we, Lord willing, He'll provide the rest, and we can then tell the engine overhaul shop that already has an engine waiting. They have it all torn apart, inspected. They're waiting on the funds, us to give them the green light to be able to put the engine together, which will take some time on their part. And then once we have the last, I guess it's about 250 hours or so left on 29 Charlie before we have to take it down and out of service. And once that happens, then the airplane will come back here to Tucson. We will take the propeller off as soon as it arrives, basically, and take it to the prop shop. For overhaul, that's something that takes some time on their part to do, and we like to get that to them right away so that it can get in the queue to get done. Um, and so we're very excited, though, that the Lord has brought in those funds, and we will continue to pray. And please continue to pray with us for the remaining funds for 29 Charlie's engine. The other thing I'd like to update you on is 52Q. If you remember, it's been almost 7.5 years now since 52Q had its hard landing accident in the mountains of Mexico. And as you can see from the pictures, it was pretty well all taken apart to be able to get off the mountain airstrip. And it's just taken, it was almost 6 months before we got it out of the country and back to Tucson. And then parts of it went to Ohio to a mission organization there that trains up and coming missionary mechanics. And they did a bunch of work to the fuselage, as you can see in this picture. All the green from the front of the engine all the way back to the tail, all that is new. All that was reworked from the accident. The engine's been overhauled. We have actually flown the airplane since this picture. Not finished. It flew ugly like this for a little while. And we flew it up to the engine shop after we put it in. We flew it to the paint shop where they painted it. And now currently we are in the process of putting the new interior in. As you can see from the picture on the left, it's just bare on the inside with some soundproofing. On the right side, you can see the new gray panels that we're putting in, the new headliner that we're putting in. It takes a while to do the fit and finish work for this. It just takes a lot of patience and taking a piece in and out probably 20 times per piece before you get everything just right. But it's a lot of fun to do. So we are in the middle of that right now. Lord willing, as far as the timeline goes, my goal is to have it mostly finished by the end of October, early November, so that then we can start training the guys in it. This airplane is different on the panel. If you look at the right side, we have 2 electronic instruments now, plus a fully electronic engine monitoring system that replaces the original Cessna equipment. And it's going to take some learning because it's new gadgetry in the airplane as opposed to the old round dials, as they called it, where you just watch the needle do its thing. Now you get a lot more information. So we're very excited about this, and it's coming along. And so the bottom picture there, bottom right-hand picture, is the way it's painted now. So it's come a long way from sitting on a trailer coming off the mountain airstrip to where it is now. And we praise the Lord for that. And Lord willing, by the end of the year, beginning of next year, it'll be in full service in Mexico and give us an additional aircraft to relieve some pressure that we've not had, because we have 3 bases, but only 2 206s currently in country, and the 182 can do some of what the 206 can do, but not all of it. And so we're excited about what's going on there. So that gives you a little bit of an update on what's going on in the shop. And please be praying that we see the things that we need to see as mechanics to get them fixed and taken care of so that the aircraft can serve the Lord in Mexico for as long as possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for the update from the shop there in Tucson. Thank you guys for your work up there. We sure appreciate that, your faithful service in that way. Moving all the way to our southernmost base in Tepic in the state of Nayarit. It's on the western coast of Mexico. If you go down the west coast of Mexico and come to the place where there's kind of a knuckle sticking out, right about there is where Tepic, Nayarit is. And we have down there the farmer family, and Jason's been down there for a number of years, and he heads up that base. And we're ready for your report from down there, Jason.
All righty. Well, thanks for having me here. It's a welcome from central Mexico. It's still hot and humid down here. You guys are probably cooling down up there, but we're still in hot and humid air. So enjoying that, I guess. But there's a lot of exciting things happening down here. Last time I shared about some of the medical clinics that we did this last spring. And actually, I see Jim Sakula is on from Shadow Mountain there in San Diego. Jim was in part of one of those medical clinics that we did this last spring, and I shared a little bit about that last time, so I won't go into too much detail. But we're going to be doing another one of these clinics, and we are hoping to have that happen here the first week of December. And we're going to be working with the quota people, and one of the things, I guess a huge praise was we were hoping to get a dental unit. The one that we were using, we were borrowing from someone, and it was kind of on its last leg. And actually, you can see Jim's wife there in the picture now. But the unit there that we were using, it was kind of on its last leg, and so we just had somebody donate this last week towards that unit. So we'll be purchasing a new unit, and we're excited to put that into service here. And I'm sure that's going to be touching a lot of people's lives, touching their mouths, I guess there. But more than just meeting their physical needs, it seems like that when you meet some of their physical needs, it also opens their hearts towards spiritual needs, and that's really what we're hoping. And so this next November, we're going to be doing, or next December, the first week of December, we're going to be doing this clinic, and we'll be going in to work with the quota people, and we're just hoping that God will do an amazing work and do some things. And I was just finalizing some of the team today. Right now, it looks like I'll probably have 2 Mexican dentists joining us. One of the dentists was up here last time, and I'm trying to talk him into bringing his wife along. She's also a dentist. And then looks like we might have 2 Mexican doctors joining us on this clinic. So I know some of you missed, we were working, trying to see if we could get some other people from the States down here on this clinic. And I know maybe some of you were hoping to get on that as we're starting to finalize this team. But, you can still be a part. These clinics, it takes a lot of shuttles to get the everybody back in there, all the people in there, the dentists, the doctors, all the supplies and everything we need. So, if you'd be willing, and, if the Lord laid something on your heart, something to give towards, that would be huge to help us that way. And if you missed this clinic and you want to be involved in another clinic, we're hoping to do another one this spring, probably end of February, beginning of March, sometime in that area. So shoot us an email, reach out to us. And if you want to get involved in one of these, we'd love to do more and more of this, and we've been going into this one village with the quota people. I'd also like to expand this and do some of these into the mountains with the Huichol people as well. And so, God really uses these to reach people's lives, and we're excited to be a part of it and to serve, His children this way, and just to be an outreach to the community. And and also there, we're hoping to bring people that can share the word and be able to share the love of Christ and share the gospel with them as well during that. So pray for us as this clinic comes up. Pray that God will do some amazing things, and that God will go ahead and prepare some of the hearts. And if you want to be involved in donating towards that, so we can get these clinics done, feel free. Another thing that I get to do tonight, share, is we have some exciting people joining our group. We have 3 new couples that are in the process of joining us, and they're all at different parts in the group. We got the Whites, the Cheeks, and the Valeras, and we're excited to see them come on. The Whites, Nathan and Kyla, they are going to be actually moving down here to Tepic. I've been working as the only pilot down here for the last year and a half, so we're excited to have another pilot mechanic come and join us. The Whites are from Missouri, and currently they are in McAllen, Texas at language school. They're finishing up language school to be done this December, and then hopefully the beginning of February we'll be moving them down here, and we'll start the process of checking Nathan out into some of these mountain strips. And it'll be exciting to see as our team grows, as we got a full team down here, the Lord can really do a lot more, and we can get a lot accomplished. So we're looking forward to having the Whites come down. Now the Valetas, we'll switch over to the next slide here. The Valetas, they are from California, and they are some new appointees to us, and they're in the process of raising support. Right now, they're at a little over 25% support, but they just had some good news in the last 2 weeks. Their home church has approved them to be missionaries, and they had a couple other churches that were waiting on that. So hopefully their support will take a big jump here in the next few months. But they're hoping by December to see 50% support, and then at that kind of mark, Aaron's hoping to maybe be able to transition out of his job and go full time into support raising. And they are hoping to jump into language school there in Texas as well. They're hoping to jump into there this fall and start in the fall semester. And then Aaron's a pilot, and he's going to be moving down here to Mexico, and we'll plug him in into one of our Mexican bases. So we're excited to see them come down. Pray as God raises their support that they'll be able to meet with the individuals and churches that they need to see that come in. And then the last couple that's joining us, the Cheeks, Silas and Amanda, a great couple. They are actually from Arizona, and Silas is a mechanic, and he's going to be joining the Tucson team there, and he's going to be working as a mechanic there in Tucson. They're currently at 75% of the support that they need, and so they're hoping by the end of this year that they'll be able to get to 100%, and then they can transition into working there at the hangar. You know, I know Paul would love to have them there helping finish off the airplane so that we can keep the airplanes flying down here in Mexico. You know, so pray for these three couples. Pray as they make meetings with churches and as they finish up language school and they finish up the preparations to jump onto the mission field. You know, pray that God would raise up the right supporters. And you know, if you're looking for somebody to support, let me just encourage you to help out these couples and help get them to the field. We're excited to have them come on, and you know, as our team grows, you know, a lot of us wear a lot of different hats, and so it's exciting to see God bringing new people and be able to share some of the responsibilities of the things going on. So lots going on. Pray for the clinics and pray for these guys join us, and just thanks for this time.
Right. Thank you, Jason, for the update from down there. You may be wondering, how can you be involved with the ministry here? First and foremost, we would ask you for your prayer, prayer for safety in flying. It's a lot of rugged terrain we go over, not a very hospitable place. So we'd appreciate your prayers for safety. We recognize that even though there's a lot of work that goes into the maintenance and a lot of caution and care goes into planning the flights and executing the flights, in the end, safety comes from the Lord. So if you would pray that the Lord will continue to grant us safety, also pray for the guys working in the shop full time, that the Lord would give them eyes to see, as Paul was mentioning earlier, see what's going on with the airplanes and what needs to be fixed or changed, what needs to be addressed. And pray too for the missionaries working in the mountains. You know, we're not flying airplanes and maintaining airplanes just to be flying and maintaining airplanes. Our heart's desire is to see people reached with the gospel and new churches established and existing churches built up. And so pray for the Lord to do his heart work. Only he can change hearts. It's he who builds his church. And so pray for the Lord to work in hearts there across Mexico. And then to pray for, as Jason was just mentioning, pray for our new guys coming on. They're in the support raising phase, and that can seem like it takes a long time to sometimes identify the support team the Lord has in mind to be part of their group. So pray for them, that the Lord would supply for them in time and in his way, and that they be encouraged through that process. Another way you can be involved is by participating financially. It's not cheap to fly the airplanes, not cheap to maintain them. We're so grateful. It's always amazing how the Lord supplies the funds, and we're already halfway to the funds needed for the overhaul on 29 Charlie's engine. So we praise the Lord for that. But that's a need that we continue to experience. There's also the outreach, the dental and medical outreach and volunteers. There's churches in the States who have taken part in that before, and we'd love to have others participate in that. And then the medical and dental equipment that's needed to do some of that work. That's still an outstanding bill there as well. So if you're interested in participating in that way, there's certainly opportunities there. So pray and get involved. And then thirdly, you can connect with us. We have our webpage, we have Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Twitter and MailChimp. And actually, that's one of the best ways, possibly the best way to stay connected, is to get on our email list. And we send out regular stories and updates on what's going on with the ministry. So if you sign up for our email, we would love to stay in touch with you that way. And that's great to have that as a two-way street also, for you to send us questions and ask us about what's going on. So please avail yourself of those ways to stay in touch and keep up with what's going on. And if there's any questions that have come up, this would be your time. Um, we'd love to answer any questions. And if we don't have the answers, we can whip out our phone and check on Google. But please, if you have any questions, clarifications on anything, please let us know here, and we'd be glad to answer you. And that goes for across the board here. Any questions for any of our team here? I would point out I'm going to mute myself, so I'm not speaking over you. But in the bottom left corner, if you do ask a question, just unmute yourself there for asking the question.
Michael, I don't know if you can hear me. My name's Rick Brooks. I'm from Northeast Tennessee, and I was part of a team that came down 2 years ago with MSI and did an audit down there. If I remember correctly, you all were preparing a database of all your airfields. Has there been progress on that, and what's the status there?
Hi, Rick. Yeah, we can hear you fine, and thanks for checking up on us. Thanks for holding our feet to the fire. Yes, well, we have digitized our entire airstrip directory, and it's now part of a whole program we keep on our iPad, and it is live. So every time we sync, before every day when we fly, we sync our iPad, and it automatically updates the entire airstrip directory if there have been any changes.
Very good, very good.
Also included in there's a section now where the pilot, as he's going in, if we see something, we can write a NOTAM. That's a notice to airmen for those who aren't familiar with that term. A NOTAM for the other pilots, so they're aware of gullies washing out or encroaching vegetation. So yep, that's quite a ways further down the road than you saw 2 years ago.
Very good, thank you.
No, thank you.
Hi, this is Tabitha Sims, and I just had a question about the upcoming dental trip. Who are the medical personnel and groups that you partner with to bring your doctors and dentists?
This time, Kenny Van Kirk, some of you might know him. He's going to be headed down working with us. We have a Dr. Carolyn Zuhe out of Guadalajara. I'm hoping that she'll join the trip. But I mean, if there was people interested, in the States that wanted to come down, last time Shadow Mountain had sent a team down, and they were a huge help to us. So, anybody that would like, we need to keep a Mexican doctor on staff down here because it's kind of got to be underneath his or her license. So yeah, those are some of the groups that we work with.
Jason, you probably said it already, but can you repeat when the dates are for that clinic?
Yeah, we're going to be flying into the tribe this time, December 2nd, and then flying out on the 5th. So yeah, definitely keep that time in your prayers there, over those dates. And then we're hoping to do the next one probably the beginning of March. We haven't cemented any dates. So, if there's something you guys want to get involved in, we're hoping to maybe do another one in, end of February, beginning of March. Hopefully we'll get another clinic going. And we'll be excited to have Nathan down here for that one. And this upcoming one in December too, I meant to say that Aaron Valera he's planning on coming down. So it'll be kind of fun to have him down here. It's always fun when you're raising support to actually get on the field and get some real life stories. So we're excited to get Aaron down here and get him some good stories. So that'll be good.
Well, I'll just add one more thing since everyone's being very shy. Great job, whoever is putting together all of the great videos and the newsletters and the updates, and from someone that's I don't see you guys or very often, and it's just a great way for you guys to really give us a window, literally sometimes a window into what life is like. And love seeing the video with the farmer kids. That was great, just to see there's a lot of joy in that family, it seems. And anyway, so thank you. It's a ton of effort, I know, and but I think it's really valuable and really appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you. We do feel like it's really important to stay connected with you guys because without you, we couldn't be here doing this and reaching these people. So yeah, I feel like I enjoy, making those videos and letting you know what's going on down here. And we just appreciate you guys so much and all your prayers and everything.
Hey, Jason, I have another question, because I think when we talk about a dental like thing like this, a lot of times we think, oh, that's not my skill set. I can't do anything. So can you list some of the like non-medical type help positions that you guys need for that to flow smoothly, even to making a sandwich?
Yeah, it does take a team of us, just to kind of keep the doctors happy and keep them working. There's just setup work. Usually somebody's greeting the people and just kind of seeing which line we should put them in, whether it's the dental line or it's the doctor line. Helping that way, just getting things set up, helping the doctors, organizing the medicine, handing the medicine out, helping as the doctors write what the medicine and the prescriptions and stuff that they need, just getting those things put together and handing it out to the people, and just even like cleaning some of the dental equipment and some of those things. I was watching our dentist last time, and he was working like a dog, and so to be able to take some of those responsibilities off of him, I don't want to be in there pulling somebody's tooth or drilling on somebody's tooth. I'll probably keep over, but it's to be able to help them out and to do whatever we can to keep those guys working, and just encouragement, getting to know the village. We were showing kids and stuff how to brush their teeth, and anybody can do that. Really, you don't even have to speak Spanish or Cora to be able to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of getting involved. So it takes a couple of doctors, a dentist, and it takes just a couple other just grunt workers in a sense, that are willing to do anything.
And
So.
someone too to help with food. Like I usually work with someone here in town organizing a menu and going shopping with them. But then when they actually go to the village, I usually stay behind because I have 4 kids. But we need someone out there in the village who knows the menu, can deliver food. A lot of times the doctors and other people working can't get away to eat, so they'll deliver like little sack lunches throughout the day and make sure everyone gets fed. So that's definitely need.
Mhm.
Anyone else with a question? I don't want to cut anybody off. Well, in that case, let me say thank you again for joining us. We're glad that you were part of this evening, and we'll plan another one of these here and send out notification in a few months. Thanks for your interest. Again, please pray. Please get involved as you can, and stay connected, and sign up for our newsletter. We'd love to stay in touch. And with that, I think I'll wish you guys a good evening.